We're entering the village of Corrales from the south. Corrales is a old farming community that you can see has tons and tons of trees, mostly cottonwood trees. And the reason that there are so many trees here is that there are irrigation canals that come off of the river that run north and south and then onto people's properties for the purposes of growing crops years and years ago. So lots of trees have grown as a result of that. Corrales is subdivided into mostly acre plus size lots. So the density is pretty sparse, and there's a real definite feeling of space around the homes. Lots of horses, and you can see there are acreages, fields, that sort of things. People grow chickens, and they raise horses and cattle, and you name it. So it's a great country place to live, and yet it's right just north of the city in the Paradise Hills section of town where there's a major mall. You can see to our right there's a big acreage there where there's a big horse farm, so horses are raised there. I'll pull in here to an area called Camino de las Brisas just to give you an idea of how upscale some of these areas in Corrales are. It's a little bit of a mix. There are, believe it or not, a few mobile homes still left in Corrales when land was still cheap. The land is pretty expensive now. But you can see as we approach some of these homes, they're on a grand scale. These are $1 million plus, probably $1 million to $2 million homes, all on 2.5 acre size lots. Most of these people have horses, and you can see lots of green grass, irrigation. This is a beautiful home here on your left that has just been built. Somebody had bought that lot years and years ago. It's very, very lush, not what you would typically think of as desert. Okay, continuing north on Corrales Road, we've got the Village Mercantile to our left. Now we get into the village proper where we have some small businesses. Up here on your left is the Frontier Mart, the Bunkhouse. We have a gas station that is transitioning ownership right now. So we have a few small businesses in Corrales that kind of cater to the local community. Some really good restaurants called Casa Vieja, and we have Nate and Hannah's here in town, or in the village as well. And we have a Montessori school on our right here. So I hope this gives you a little bit of the flavor of mainstream Corrales, and we'll venture on up into the bluffs in Corrales where there are lots and lots of views. This house over here to the right is a Sears kit house. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's kind of a throwback to the early 1900s. I'm heading west now on a road in Corrales, but I wanted to show the irrigation canal that irrigates part of Corrales. You can see the water dam up there, and the water flows north and south through Corrales and then onto people's properties, but I thought that would be neat to see. Okay, we've continued to travel west on a street called West La Entrada, and I just wanted to show you how the transition occurs from being very, very green because of all the various irrigation canals, another one being right there, so you can see that irrigation. But I wanted to show you, once you cross this street, which is another north-south street called Loma Larga, and you continue going west, we start increasing in elevation as we approach Rio Rancho, which is another city that has its own city government. It's a separate city from Albuquerque. But as we continue to go up, we start increasing in elevation. You can see there's still a lot of dirt roads here in Corrales. You can see the large trees have kind of gone away to smaller, more desert-looking scrub type of stuff. But as we continue to ascend up the hill, these people in these homes here, and still they're all on about an acre, have some tremendous views looking back to the east at the mountains, which we'll look at here in a minute. But I just wanted to show you how the terrain changes in the western part of Corrales. Okay, we've turned around on West La Entrada, heading back east, but we did go up the hill a little bit. So now you can see, looking out over Corrales, you can see all that green. That's all the green that we were in on Corrales Road that runs along the Rio Grande River. And you really can't see it today because we've got a lot of cloud cover, but the Sandia Mountains are right over there where the clouds are. The clouds have descended down and they're covering them a little bit. But you can see what the views are like on this side of town, overlooking the entire city, the valley, and looking at the mountains. So I hope that gives you a much better sense of what Corrales is really like. It's just a beautiful old farming community, with most homes being on an acre or more, a lot of different varying kinds of architecture, sizes of homes, a lot of wildlife, horses, chickens, goats, just a great place to live, but still within the city. Hope you enjoyed your tour of Corrales.